Hello, everybody. Excuse me. It's been a long time since I've been on here, and it's been a busy couple of months. But I wanted to do a wine tasting tonight, and this is probably going to be one of the most unique wine tastings that I have done. Why? Because it's a wine that I have never tried, from a country that I've never drank wine from, and a grape that I have never heard of, and the way it's processed I had never heard of. So I don't know what to expect. The wine is it's a grape called Gruner Veltliner. That's Gruner Veltliner. That's the name of the grape, and it's from a winery called, oh boy, Tuzko Bertok. And that would be Tuzko Bertok, B-I-R-T-O-K. This wine is a 2022 Gruner Veltliner, and it's from the what they call the Pannon region of Hungary, which is not too far from the Danube River. It's a very unique grape. I've never tried it. I have no idea anything about this. So I did a little reading before I came on. And this is a very interesting grape because this grape makes wines that are fortified, which is your ports and your sherries. It makes sparkling wines, it makes sweet dessert wines, and it makes dry wines. Now, it all depends on how it ripens. And I guess depending on how ripe it is, that determines whether or not what type of wine that they're going to make. So, now that I don't know anything about this, and I'm getting ready to taste this Gruner Veltliner for the first time, I'm got my fingers crossed that it's not a sweet wine. It is a white wine, by the way, I should say. I've got my fingers crossed that it's not a sweet wine. If it is a sweet wine, I'll probably won't even finish the glass of wine, and I'll put it in the refrigerator and use it for cooking. So again, it's a grape called Gruner Veltliner, and it's a 2022, and it's from Hungary. This grape is only grown in Hungary, Austria, Slovakia, in that area of the world. So, and again, if you get a chance, look up this grape and read a little bit about it on Wikipedia. It'll kind of blow your mind. After we do the tasting here, I need to tell you a little story about wine that happened this week that I wasn't very happy with, but I'll tell you in a second. All right, so I'm going to have to turn over here so I can hold it up to the light inside. It's dark here, so I'm doing this wine tasting at about 6 o'clock Eastern Time. It's a straw color wine, white wine, which is pretty standard. It's doesn't seem to have significant viscosity. I'm not seeing a lot of rivulets or legs, as we sometimes call the wine. So that would make me think that the alcohol is probably pretty low. But I did check on that. It's 12.5%, which is not low really at all, particularly for a white wine. And by the way, Teresa, nice to see you on here if you're still on here. I haven't talked to you in a long time. You'll need to stop by and drink a little wine with me some evening at one of the fire pits. All right, well, let's get back to tasting this wine. So I kind of screwed up and put too much in the glass, so swirling is going to be a little bit of an issue without me spilling it. And again, keep your fingers crossed that it's not a sweet wine. You know, it's got a very strong melon flavor. I don't know what I would say. It's, you know, a Sauvignon Blanc can have a melon flavor, but it's a very citrusy wine. Chardonnays can have a mellow or a melon flavor if they're buttery and so forth, which I don't like. This one has got an incredibly pleasant nose to it. See if I can focus in on what the actual aroma is that I'm picking up. I would say it's probably guava, with a strong hint of lemon, maybe. Maybe some grapefruit, but it's not as citrusy like lemon and grapefruit that you see in Sauvignon Blancs. It seems to have a little bit of a sweeter aroma. Let's hope there's no sweetness in the wine, but a sweeter aroma. By the way, I'm doing a little swirling, and it looks like the viscosity has picked up a little bit. Maybe the wine just had to get a little bit of aeration into it. So, all right, well, let's give this a taste and see what we have here. Well, I'm puzzled. Let me just tell you that it's not sweet. It's a dry wine. It is a dry wine, but if I had to classify it as a dry wine, I would say it's a dry wine edging toward sweetness, but it's not semi-sweet. It is definitely a dry wine. I don't know what this flavor is. I'm going to have to taste this once or twice to see if I can determine what I think it tastes like. It's a very pleasant wine, though, by the way. I don't know. It has a mineral taste to it, but I'm not picking up the fruit as much as I'm picking up a mineral, maybe like a chalky mineral flavor, not a gross chalk type of taste. Not that I know what chalk tastes like, but I think every kid at one time in first grade bit off a piece of chalk, tasted it. But more of a mineral taste, kind of very. If you drink Washington State wines or Oregon State wines, they have a tendency to have a mineral undertone on it. This has the same thing, except it's very strong. It's actually overpowering the fruit, whatever the fruit is, whatever the fruit is that I'm picking up. All right. If I had to make a value judgment on what it tastes like, I would say that it tastes like a citrusy lemon wine with a very strong mineral undertones, which kind of overwhelms the fruit in this. I love this wine. I'm going to have to maybe get some more of this. But again, this is the first time I've ever had a Gruner Veltliner, and I had actually never even heard of this grape. It's highly recommended. It came in one of my wine clubs, so I'm guessing it's in the neighborhood of $10 to $15 a bottle. The only Hungarian wines that I had ever seen, and I have not tasted, was they have a red wine. It's kind of an inexpensive wine. It used to be about $6 to $8 years ago. It's probably 10 or 12 now, and it's called Bull's Blood. I think that was the name of it. I never tasted it, but it was a red wine. I don't even know what the grape was, and they actually put Bull's Blood in the wine, and that's why they called it Bull's Blood. Let me taste this again, people. Yeah, I'm getting the same thing. I'm getting a lemon, maybe a grapefruit, with a very strong undertone of mineral. which I'm assuming that the ground in that area has got a lot of rocks or minerals or some type of stone. I guess the only thing is I wish there was somebody here to share this wine, because no one's going to believe this. It's just an incredible wine. So, all right. Enough on the wine tasting. Let me tell you a little horror story. I smell something burning. I hope I've got clothes in the dryer. I hope there's not anything going on down there. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this wine tasting, because I have to see what that aroma is, or that odor is that I'm hearing downstairs. And I'll come back on here in a little bit and just tell you a short little wine horror story. Well, listen, I'll try to get back to doing some of these wine tastings a little bit more frequently. No one seems to have missed them. No one has commented on it, but I do enjoy doing it. So I'll let this go for now, and I will see you all the next time. But I'm going to come back here in a little bit and tell you another little story about wine. You all take care now. Bye.